Dr. Damian Van Helsing of the Abraham Van Helsing Academy. January 16th, year 2126. Earth 99,511. Specimen, Shai-Hulud. Log entry begins. As my brother often says, by great-great-great-grandfather Abraham's beard. I have just witnessed a creature that makes the kaijus of many alternative Earths I've visited that the Abraham Van Helsing Academy has visited in these last decades of transdimensional exploration look like mere flea circus performers. And no, this isn't hyperbole induced by the locals' heavy spirits, it is the reality of Arrakis, a desert planet in the Canopus star system, nearly 313 light-years from Earth. As ordered, I arrived on Arrakis a few weeks ago and immediately began my research. I didn't expect much, it's a desert planet, practically dead, and for days on end I found not a single sign of native life, save for the settlers. Only legends, tales of what Arrakis once was and what it will one day become, until today. Exactly 97 minutes ago, one of those legends, those ancient tales, materialized beneath my feet and nearly snatched my life away. Frankly, what the locals call the Shai-Hulud defies not only animal biology, but geological logic itself. The Shai-Hulud, or the Great Sandworm, isn't just a beast forcibly introduced into an alien ecosystem before the Great Revolt against the machines, it is a living geomorphological engine of terraforming. Take a moment, just a moment, apprentices of the Abraham Van Helsing Academy, close your eyes, don't speak, and perform this mental exercise. Imagine a worm, a colossal annelid, a cylindrical structure that can reach 450 meters in length in the deep desert, though there are legends, tales of specimens a kilometer or longer, something that, without exaggeration, my kaiju-loving researcher's heart can barely process without suffering cardiac arrest at the age of 29. Its body, capable of easily exceeding 1,000 years of life, is encased in an armor of chitinous plates ranging from sandy orange to ash gray, overlapping like roof tiles, so resilient that extreme heat and silicon friction barely tickle them. If one looks a Shai-Hulud dead in the face, which is nearly impossible to do without dying in the attempt, one can see its mouth, what I have dubbed the mouth to hell. A circular opening, smelling strongly of flint and cinnamon, personally verified when it nearly devoured me alive, roughly 80 meters in diameter for a standard sandworm, saturated with thousands upon thousands of crystalline teeth. I must emphasize that these are no common calcium teeth, after all, we are talking about invertebrates. They are pieces of extreme molecular hardness, capable of vibrating in the presence of electric fields, which the Freemen, a tribe or organization of settlers on Arrakis, worship as sacred relics in the name and form of crysknives. Inside that vast maw, there is no conventional digestive tract, but rather a biological furnace. The Shai-Hulud is, essentially, a walking thermal factory. Its metabolism, which focuses primarily on a pure and exclusive diet of sand, generates an internal heat so overwhelming that the air around it, clouded by sulfurous vapors from its breath, distorts as if it were a direct gateway to the underworld, to the point of generating constant static electricity. In the middle of a sandstorm, a Coriolis, the presence of a worm can be easily detected by blue electrical discharges in the atmosphere that the locals call worm sky. Curiously, these beings are the source of all the oxygen on the planet Arrakis. They are, if you'll excuse the redundancy, a giant lung breathing for a dead world. The Shai-Hulud, as one might expect, lack eyes. But they don't need them, they are guided exclusively by vibrational holism. Any artificial rhythm on the sand, be it human footsteps, machinery, or energy shields, acts as a beacon for them. That is how they found me today. They are extremely territorial and aggressive toward rhythmic vibrations, making them the absolute apex predator. Nothing that touches the ground in the deep desert survives if it doesn't know how to walk without rhythm. Except for other Shai-Hulud and myself, by the grace of my own luck. I may have used up the luck of 100 of my future lives today, but it was worth it. Ironically, the most powerful creature on Arrakis has an extremely simple mortal weakness, water. To a Shai-Hulud, water is a sudden metabolic poison. Upon coming into contact with it, even a tiny body of water, its internal fluids catalyze, causing an agonizing death that, nonetheless, produces the water of life, a narcotic substance of incalculable biological power, though only for the sect of the Reverend Mother. The worm is the desert, and the desert is the worm. This isn't just a local poetic phrase, it's a taxonomic reality. The great sandworms are the guardians of various treasures that humanity desires, and for that reason, they are hunted. I will now detail their incredible life cycle, described only in local myths and not in proven scientific research. It is up to you whether to believe it or not. The beginning and the end of all great sandworms are the sand trout. Sand trout are the docile larval form of a single Shai-Hulud. They are gray, leathery, and diamond-shaped but flexible, without heads, eyes, or limbs, save for retractable pseudopods called cilia. Remember that name, it's important. They reach a length of just under 9 meters. Basically, they are serpentine slugs. Sand trout exist in massive colonies beneath the sands of Arrakis, joined body to body by thick interlacings of their cilia until they seemingly become one enormous placental organism capable of trapping entire bodies of water, their sole existential goal, to find water and consume it 100% in the subterranean depths. Many sand trout obviously die in the process, as part of the natural cycle of their species, and from the violent explosions of melange spice, a substance that is the result of the digestive fusion between water and the sand trout's own blood, called prespice, which the slugs themselves produce with their growing fungal excretions. The sand trout that survive eventually cluster together to form a young sandworm, essentially becoming a mobile colony organism that will grow for many years until becoming the colossal annelids that haunt the sands of Arrakis and hate water, their great original existential goal. When a Shai-Hulud dies by water, I have no concrete information if this also happens when the specimen dies violently in a territorial struggle against another Shai-Hulud or a human attack. The great being decomposes at an incredible speed. The sand trout, now far greater in number due to the leap from a young worm to an adult worm, originate once more from the dead flesh, diving into the sand with the goal of finding water, and the process restarts, drying out the planet more and more each time. Ironic, isn't it? The Shai-Hulud are the saviors of Arrakis, and the sand trout, the other side of their existence, are its killers. Since much of this log has been based only on assumptions from legends and local tales, I will provide 2 facts, not key to Shai-Hulud biology, but 2 documented facts that add much to what the great sandworms experience currently on Arrakis. Fact 1, the Freeman tribe, I don't know how or why, but they can control the Shai-Hulud to a certain extent, enough to ride them using hooks of 1 to 2 meters as if they were locomotives over a sea of sand. One of these freemen was the one who prevented his serpentine vehicle from devouring me alive today. Other than that, he didn't speak a word to me before leaving. According to the locals, the freemen are a mystical people. I no longer know what to believe and what not to in this wasteland. Fact 2, the melange spice, again, I don't know how or why, I'm not an engineer, but it is the fuel that, on Earth 99511, allows for space travel. This justifies the great importance of the Shai-Hulud not only on Arrakis, where the planet literally only lives thanks to them, but throughout the entire galaxy, and has for millennia. In short, this desert is relentless, and its god has too many teeth for dialogue. I am Dr. Damian Van Helsing of the Abraham Van Helsing Academy, ending this log.